guys, it's Simon. This is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Friday, and that means tonight, or today actually, was Friday night SmackDown. SmackDown was in Barcelona, Spain, and because of that, it aired early, 2 p.m. Eastern. So we watched it early. I had to watch it once I got off of work, so I started it about an hour later or so. But hey, we're here, we're live, we're talking SmackDown, and that means since we're going live now, I might go live again later in a couple of hours and play more of that damn 007 First Light, because that game is awesome. I'm on chapter 4, and I want to just keep playing. I have a friend that beat the game last night and literally liked it so much, he tried calling me at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning to tell me how great this game is that I need to just finish it. So, yeah, we're probably going to finish this game on stream this weekend. Don't think I'll finish it tonight because we're only on chapter 4 of, I think it's 10 or 11. But I think maybe we'll stream it again to maybe here's an idea I've had. I don't know if I'm going to do this for sure. I've thought stream the game. Not sure what time I start tomorrow or whatever, but stream the game. And then when El Grande versus El Grande, Mask versus Mask is going on, do a little watch along kind of deal. So like I'll be playing 007 and watching Mask versus Mask to see how that goes, because that should be pretty good. If I do say so myself. But that's not the only big WWE show coming up this weekend. Now, tonight was SmackDown, or today was SmackDown, and it was just a show. It wasn't anything super special. But here's the good thing about today's SmackDown. If everything goes according to plan, which, give me 2 seconds to see. When's that everything on the menu with Braun Strowman start? I think it's next week. And if that's true, then today was the final 3-hour SmackDown. Everything on the menu with Braun Strowman. I think it comes back next week. And if that is the case, then we're good to go. Yeah, June 5th at 11 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah, next week we got a 2-hour SmackDown again. Hallelujah. And everything on the menu with Braun Strowman was a good show last season, and they've upped the game this year, as far as we know, in a couple of episodes at least, because there's going to be an episode where he's with Mark Henry eating food, with Alexa Bliss eating food, Bert Kreischer eating food. So I'm excited for this show. I actually have it set on my DVR to record every week. Also, there is a WWE Red, White, Blue special tonight or something on the USA Network as well, after SmackDown, I believe. Let me see. USA Network tweeted about it earlier. Let me double check. USA Network. They said WWE Made in America. Learn about the history of WWE spanning 5 decades when the special event WWE Made in America premieres tonight, Friday, after SmackDown. So that's a thing as well. It's got Hulk Hogan on the poster, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Triple H, and old Cody Rhodes, baby. So that's tonight as well. If you want more WWE after a 3-hour SmackDown. But you know, you got everything that took place on SmackDown. It was a fine show, nothing super special. I felt like it could have been better to build up the Clash in Italy. Yes, we had a big segment at the end with Gunther and Cody talking and Cody getting the upper hand or whatever. But that's not the big news right now. The big news is that Jacob Fatu is hurt. Jacob Fatu was supposed to be in the main event of Clash in Italy this Sunday. May miss the show. We do not have full details on exactly what went down with Jacob Fatu. But PWU Insider did have the news saying that Jacob Fatu may have been injured. Apparently, he was seen limping following his match yesterday with Solo Sikoa in Liverpool. And it is unclear if he was just overselling the match afterwards, like selling getting beat up and being sore from the match, or if he actually was injured. But there are people within the company that are worried that he is actually injured and could not get cleared in time for Clash in Italy this Saturday or Sunday, where he's supposed to main event that show, Roman Tribal Combat. So that's not good at all. Again, this news does come from a PW Insider that Fatu may be injured and that there are some in the company that believe that it is a legitimate injury. That ain't good. I'll just wait and see what happens over the next 2 days. Hopefully, if he is injured, they keep him off of whatever they were going to run tonight. And I think there's a live event tonight. Keep him off of whatever, they're doing tomorrow, because they got that European tour going on right now. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. But with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. Sorry, trying not to burp all of a sudden because I took that drink of my Sprite. But I hope you would use your Prime subscription on us, PW Unlimited. Also, remember, help us out over on YouTube. You can help us out over there by hitting that subscribe button. That way you know when we go live, post new videos, and post on the community tab. Also, remember, you can help us out by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get early access to our graphics tutorials, access to our graphics packages, a badge next to your name, emotes and emojis, and much more. And finally, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game, or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. The Epic Game Store right now has their mega sale going on through June 11th. So if you want to go see what they got on sale right now, let's double check. What is that? Oh, that's nothing big. If you buy 007 First Light from the Epic Game Store, you get some cool wheels for your Aston Martin DB5. I don't really care about that. I got the game from Steam. Let's see what they do have for sale right now. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando is currently on sale, 20% off. Super Meatball 3D, great game, 20% off. Ride 6, ooh, that's a good one, 30% off. We also got Cyberpunk 2077, 65% off. If you've never played Cyberpunk, I highly recommend it. You go get it on the Epic Games Store. Again, for 65% off, it's only $20. It's still a full-priced game. Go check it out. Go check out the mega sale going on right now on the Epic Games Store. They got Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 on sale as well. Hogwarts Legacy, God of War Ragnarok, Reanimal, The Last of Us Part 1, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, God of War 2018, Ghost of Tsushima, Jedi Survivor, and so much more. Again, use code PW Unlimited. That's code PW Unlimited for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. As far as Smackdown does go, Friday night Smackdown. God damn, they've even got the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection on sale. The one with Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy. Spider-Man Miles Morales is currently on sale. Dang. So many good games on sale. So many good games. You want Madden 26 on your PC? $13. $13. Also, next week, first look at Madden 27 and College Football 27. But enough with that. Friday night Smackdown. Friday night Smackdown from the, I would say it's the Olympic Arena in Barcelona, Spain. We see a bunch of wrestlers arriving at the building. We then go straight into the arena as Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett introduce themselves, as well as the Spanish announce team, Miguel Perez and Alvaro, I think it's Alvaro Carrera, I think his name was. And then Do a little recap of the 6-woman tag from last Saturday at Saturday night's main event, and that leads to Jade coming out. Oh, no. Yeah. Jade came out first. My notes are kind of... I've scrolled down too much, and I was like, wait, hold on. I scrolled too far in my notes. So, Jade Cargill will be challenging for the WWE Women's Championship this weekend at Clash in Italy, and she came out to the ring. Challenger to the Women's Champion. Came out flanked with her baddies, Meechin and B-Fab. As soon as Cargill got into the ring, she soaked in all the booze from the crowd. Cargill said that she didn't ask for permission and said that she just wanted to be here. B-Fab said that Cargill would beat Rhea and get her title back because that's what's coming to her and them. And right on cue, out came Rhea. Rhea interrupted the proceedings, and out came the WWE Women's Champion to a huge ovation in Barcelona. Ripley then stepped inside the ring despite being outnumbered 3-on-1. Ripley said that Cargill was out here every week just throwing around her dominance, acting like she's a success and everything, but who's got the belt? Who looks better? Oh, Rhea. Ripley pointed out that Cargill forgot one very important detail. When it comes to facing her one-on-one, Ripley has her number. She beat Cargill at WrestleMania, and she'll beat her again at Clash in Italy. Cargill responded by stating that Ripley sounded stupid for saying that, claiming that the champion thought that the division revolved around her, and it doesn't. She called Rhea weak for wanting to work with women who didn't even like her, Charlotte and Alexa. And right on cue, out came Charlotte and Alexa. Well, Charlotte first, and then Alexa. First said the Cargill was out here talking like she's already a Hall of Famer, and she'll probably never be a Hall of Famer. She respects Cargill, but she thought that she got confused with her own success. Bliss added by stating that Cargill and her crew had egos of legends. They're really nothing more than rookies, which calling fucking Meechin Mia Yim a rookie? A rookie. A rookie? A rookie. Mia Yim? Mia Yim, Meechin. Yeah, you gotta go relook that one. Mia Yim's been around for a very long time. Mia Yim debuted in pro wrestling in... Let's see. Yeah. 2009. Alexa Bliss debuted in pro wrestling in 2013. Mia's been doing this 4 years longer than you. At a pretty high level, too, as far as like big matches and stuff outside of WWE. Anyways, moving forward. So Bliss added and stated that Bliss then warned Cargill she might end up being embarrassed at Clash in Italy. Out then came Nick Aldis and was like, "Oh, Alexa, you want to talk smack? Da 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 da. Well, how about you face the former champion tonight? Let's get a referee out here." And we did get Jade versus Alexa. Alexa, stop. I always forget that I can't say Alexa. I got to say Bliss. Because, yeah, my echo is going to end up going off. Give me 1 second. All right, anyways. Give me 2 more seconds. Sorry, I got a message that I had to respond to. Okay, anyways, back to Jade versus Alexa. There was a lot of bullshit, I guess you would say, online. Maybe not a lot, but there was one account that was like, whoever the Jaded at the end on the chair, and Alexa's head didn't even hit it, but she's selling it like she did. Well, the camera zoomed in a little too much, and you saw Alexa got her arms down, and she hit. They did the move like you're supposed to do the fucking move. Like, I don't get when people go, oh, look, they didn't even hit their head. They didn't even touch. It was like a couple weeks ago when fucking Jacob gave Jay the headbutt in Gorilla and they were like that far apart. Come on. Come on. Anyways, as far as the match does go, it started during a commercial break. Bliss headed out of the ring. Bliss toyed with Cargill for a little bit. She once again went after Cargill with some strikes, though, and was thrown into the corner. It was a running splash missed by Cargill as she headed up top. However, Cargill caught her and dropped her for a backbreaker. On the apron, Bliss tried to leap at Cargill, but she was caught once more and thrown into the barricade for a powerbomb as we took a break with Cargill in complete control. Back from the commercial, Cargill continued to punish Bliss on the outside with Charlotte and Rhea forced to look on. Cargill then dropped Bliss onto the apron, but she took too long on a second attempt, which allowed Bliss to hit a drop kick. Bliss then avoided a running attack from Cargill, which sent her barreling into the steel steps. Back inside the ring, Bliss mounted a comeback with strikes to the face, followed by a drop kick. Bliss then set up Cargill for a Sister Abigail DDT, but it was countered. Baddies and Charlotte and Rhea all started brawling back inside the ring. Bliss headed up for, I guess, a twisted Bliss off the top rope, but whiffed it. Cargill got the knees up, pump kick, jaded on, and there we go. So 1, 2, 3. I thought it was fine. Nothing special. Like I said, this SmackDown was not anything super special. So after the match, this is where people were talking shit. Cargill grabbed his chair from under the ring and looked to do more damage to Bliss with another jaded on the chair. And she did it, but again, like I said, Alexa got her arms up like she's supposed to on a jaded. And the camera zoomed right in so you could see she actually didn't hit her head. She was selling the head later. And yeah. It's whatever. We got a big win for Jade going into the title matches she's most likely going to lose. Moving forward, Cody Rhodes was interviewed backstage about his upcoming match against Gunther. Sami Zayn interrupted. Rhodes said that he had nothing to say to Sami, who demanded an apology. Zayn said that Rhodes asked for the fight last week. He said that Rhodes stuck, a quote, a knife in his back with the Crossroads. Zayn tried to justify his lack of actions because it was the right thing to do because Rhodes needed to learn a lesson. Rhodes responded, stating that maybe he was the one. Or maybe when he was done with Gunther, he could teach Sami a lesson. So, yeah. It was whatever. Then Danhausen's there. And it's weird. He's standing there just like, right? Oh, just stiff as a board or whatever. And, anyways, this was weird. And he's like, yeah. It was weird because Nick Aldis was like, sorry to hear that none of your stuff made it through customs and you can't make your science experiments. Well, I don't want you doing that anymore anyways. But then later he had his stuff and he was doing his science experiments. Like, what? Then Miz said something about not wanting to fight Axiom in Spain, and Nick Aldis told him he had to do it anyways. We had Axiom versus The Miz. Axiom kept grounded with some chain wrestling to start. The lights briefly went out before turning back on, presumably due to Danhausen's experiments. Again, I don't know how he did the experiments when they literally said your stuff didn't come through customs. Anyways, Miz mocked Axiom's agility, paid for it. Nice drop kick. After a commercial break, Miz and Axiom were down on the mat. Spaniard kipped up and hit Miz with a snap German suplex for a 2. At one point, Miz had Axiom in the corner and he went for his signature clothesline, but missed off the splash. Axiom turned it into a crossface, but Miz tried to go for a cover off of that. Miz did not miss with a power bomb on the as he headed to the top. The lights then went out yet again, which allowed Axiom to hit an avalanche Spanish fly, golden ratio, and pin Miz 1, 2, 3. So Axiom gets the big win in his home country. Is he from Barcelona or is he just from Spain? I don't remember. At least says, what in the Fruit Loop damn doing it early? Well, the show's been over for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. The show was at 2 Eastern because they're in Italy or Spain today. Monday's going to be an early show. Next Friday, let me see. Is next Friday's show an early show? I know Monday is. Sunday is. Next week they're in Italy, so next Friday is like another early show. June 8th, Monday, they're in France, so that's an early show. And then they're back in the States June 12th with the Smackdown in a couple of weeks. So yeah, we got a couple of early shows coming up. Sami Zayn continued, trying to talk to Johnny Gargano like he has the last couple of weeks. Matt Cardona approached. Gargano called out Zayn for acting out of line as the Canadian continued to whine and moan and groan. And they basically just set up Matt Cardona versus Sami Zayn later in the night. Charlotte Flair checked on Bliss. She gave her some ice for her head. She then met with Rhea and was like, you better do something about Jade, because if you don't, I'm going to get the job done. And I was like, okay. Then we had, so apparently R-Truth is not cleared, they say, but then he came down and brawled a little bit, so I don't know. But it was Damian Priest and Royce Keys versus Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. No, Tonga Loa's gone. My bad. Tama Tonga, and Tala Tonga. It's just so easy to say Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa. It just rolls right off the tongue because you said it for decades. Anyways. Tala and Priest started things off. Tala withstood Priest's big blows as the MFTs did take control. Tama tagged in, but Priest fought out of the punishment and tagged in Royce. Keys dropped Tama with a nice power slam. A big, excuse me, I'm all burping all over the place. A big powerhouse pounce sent Tama out of the ring. Tala then entered the fray and found himself taken out with a double team from Keys and Priest. The whole story here was, can Keys and Priest get along? Can they work together? And can they beat the MFTs? Excuse me. At one point, things did break down. Where was I? Just lost my spot. Oh, things broke down after Keys sent Tala out of the ring with a clothesline. There was a Samoan spike by Solo Sikoa while the referee had his back turned, and out came R-Truth. R-Truth tried to come down to even out the odds, but, well, it didn't really work. All the chaos had him taken out. In the end, Tala Tonga and Tama Tonga did pick up the victory with a T-bomb by Tala to Priest. 1, 2, 3. So in theory, if Tala Tonga pinned one half of the tag team champions, you would think the MFTs are next in line for the tag titles? That's just my thought. I don't know. Chelsea Green's supposed to be taking on Nia Jax tonight. She's wearing all like white with like a headband and everything. And then she walks up to Tiffany, and Tiffany's wearing similar. She's like, oh, you got the memo. We're dressed together. She goes, no, I was just always planning on wearing this. Kind of weird. And then Chelsea's like, let's talk about our entrance and you coming out with me later. And she's like, Chelsea, I'm not coming out with you later. Basically, she said, I don't like you. We're not friends. Get over it. And she left, and Chelsea was just like, oh, okay. This then led to Sami Zayn versus Matt Cardona. Zayn wrenched at Cardona's arm early on. Slow pacing here. Zayn with an arm drag on Cardona, with the match still kind of going slow. After a commercial break, things returned as Zayn applied a chin lock on Cardona that would make a Davey Boy Smith proud. Cardona got out of the hold and dropped Zayn with the face buster. In the corner, Cardona knocked Zayn out with a punch, which then led to a broski boot. Zayn stumbled to his feet but avoided a Rough Rider. Cardona did get Zayn with a double underhook powerbomb for a near fall. Cardona at one point put Zayn on the top turnbuckle and looked to go for a high-risk maneuver. However, Zayn pushed him down. There's an exploder suplex in the corner, and soon followed a haluva kick. 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn picks up the victory. So there we go. Sami gets the win over Cardona, which, well, was expected. Really, really good match. I enjoyed this. That was one of the better things on the program. Nick Aldis is in the back talking to Gunther. At first, you don't know who he's talking to. He's like, "You've asked for time, so you guys can speak tonight. I understand it, but you got to be cordial and civil and da-da-da-da." And then we zoom out and we see that it's Gunther he's talking to. And he's like, "Hey, I'm not going to risk anything. I want Cody on the pay-per-view, so I'm not going to risk anything happening and that not happening, so we'll be good." Gunther said that he agrees everything should be kept civil, but suggested next time WWE went to Spain, they should go to Madrid instead. Which, you know, the Barcelona-Real Madrid football rivalry. That was a funny line. If you know, you know, you know. Trick Williams comes out with Lil Yachty. Good reaction from the live crowd. Got to introduce himself as the man with the money, the connections, the one who makes it all happen. He said that today was the beginning of the Trick Williams campaign. Williams took the mic and said that he was the man holding down the brand. And I'm like, Trick went a little too character today. For me tonight, Trick was a little too overly scripted and in on the character. It was too much of the inflections and the dialect of the 70s pimp, like I always call him. It didn't sound like a real person talking more than normal, way more than normal tonight. I continue to cheer for Trick Williams and the U.S. champion. He said something about taking out Miz and Carmelo Hayes the last couple of weeks. Williams called his shot for King of the Ring, says, "I am declaring for the tournament." This then led to Carmelo Hayes coming out and interrupting. He basically just talked crap. Hayes said that once he took care of Ricky Saints tonight, he was coming back for that U.S. title. Williams responded by stating, if Hayes could grow an inch for every excuse he made, maybe he'd be the size of Trick Williams and he could talk with grown folk. Ricky Saints then interrupted. He said that Williams thought that he'd get the upper hand on him last week, but he was going to take care of Williams once he's done with Hayes. Basically, the winner of this wants Trick for the title next. Saints then talked some more trash before he got slapped down by Williams for his troubles. It was fine. A lot of talking. But it did lead to Carmelo Hayes versus Ricky Saints. Match started during the break. Hayes had the momentum when we came back for a reverse leg drop on a prone Saints. There's a lariat from Saints that stopped Hayes' momentum cold as he took some stomps in the corner. Hayes then recovered and hit a pair of chops on Saints, followed by a running forearm in the corner. Hayes kept the heat up with some punches in the corner. After so we started in a break, but then had another break in the match. So after that break, Saints was in control. Hayes was put on the top rope, and Saints looked to go for a superplex, but Hayes shoved Saints to the mat and looked to go for a frog splash, but Saints got the knees up. He then followed this up with a Northern Light suplex for a near fall. One point, both men were back on their feet as they exchanged strikes. Hayes connected with his trademark springboard clothesline. He then soon thereafter hit a Dirty Diana and got a near fall. Hayes then was hit by a reverse DDT from Saints for a near fall. Saints then was sent out of the ring and hit Hayes with a Fosbury, or Hayes hit him with a Fosbury flop. Hayes then got on the barricade and hit Saints with a clothesline. However, the match ended with a double count out. I didn't even realize the ref was counting either. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention or something. I don't know. It was a double count out. And I was just like, oh, wait, it's over? Oh, okay. Maybe this leads to like a triple threat for the U.S. title? I don't know. But both guys said they wanted the U.S. title after. Well, before and after. You know what I mean. We then got a new, which is good to see, Blake Monroe vignette video. Basically, she was talking all about the women's champion, Rhea Ripley, and stating that she is coming for Rhea. So, I don't know if they're pushing her straight to the top as far as like a challenger for Rhea immediately. She was on the show live last week. She did that segment with Chelsea Green where she walked up to Chelsea and Chelsea was like, oh, hey, I was just out in the ring. She goes, I know I saw, I wish I didn't. And then she walked off. Tonight she was just in this video She was in Spain. They brought her overseas because she's posting videos on social media with like Jordan Grace and others. But they didn't use her on the show as far as like actually live on the program. So this is weird. I thought it was very weird. You show her there live last week, and then this week it's still another coming soon vignette, even though she came last week. So then we had, speaking of Chelsea Green, Nia Jax versus Chelsea Green. Jax threw Green across the ring to start the match off, but the wily Canadian soon got the advantage as she sent Jax out of the ring, took her down with a suicide dive, which goes to a commercial break. When we come back from the break, Green hit a Rough Rider, or tried to hit a Rough Rider, which was turned into a powerbomb by Jax. Jax missed a leg drop, which allowed Green to momentarily kind of get the advantage of the jumping neck breaker. That was followed by a Rough Rider for a close near fall. Lash Legend then tried to get involved, but she got kicked aside. However, that allowed for Nia Jax to hit Green with a Samoan drop. And then Tiffany Stratton's music would hit when, I guess, Nia was going to go for the Annihilator. She ended up hitting Jax with the woman's title in the chaos. Green took advantage of this and pinned her 1, 2, 3. So Tiffany does end up helping Chelsea in the end. And I forgot to mention, there's a segment earlier where Nia and Lash walked up to, I think it was Tiffany, talking trash. She's like, yeah, you don't need to involve yourself with anything going on with me and Chelsea tonight. Don't worry about any of that. They're just talking down to Chelsea and then, or Tiffany, and then saying that when she disposes of Chelsea, she'll come after the U.S. title. Well, the U.S. champion got one up on her and helped Chelsea win. Not really much to the match, though. And then, yes, this was a 3-hour show, but there wasn't much happening on this show. We're already at our main event segment. Cody Rhodes and Gunther face to face. Yeah, that's how nothing happening this show was. I've been live for 30 minutes. And I swear to God, for the first 10, we talked about other stuff. A 20-minute review, 25-minute review probably. That's how nothing happening this 3-hour show was. Luckily, we're back to 2 hours next week. The Undisputed Champion comes down to the ring. Gunther as well. Gunther said that he wasn't here to engage with any of the fans, but he wanted to talk to Cody before their match, which also WWE did confirm tonight. So we knew it was in the first hour on ESPN of the pay-per-view, the PLE with Jade and Rhea, but they confirmed tonight. This is kicking off the show. Cody and Gunther is the first match of the night. Like the first match. So Gunther said that Rhodes made it all about himself and always is very egotistical, and that he was a product of American society that birthed him. Gunther pointed out that Rhodes' nickname was fitting as a fitting as a distractor of the declining American society. Gunther said that his mission was to protect the sacred sport of wrestling from people like Rhodes. He called Rhodes a mark for himself. Rhodes responded by saying that Gunther didn't want the responsibility of being the champion and all that it implied. And I'm sitting here going, wait, he was a champion on the other show for a while. And he liked being the champion and the top guy. So was it because it's your belt? The WWE title? Is it different? The world title is not the same? I don't know. He pointed out Paul Heyman and what he told him to try to intimidate him. Rhodes said that the world title was addictive and that Gunther was as sick as he was. A clash in Italy, Rhodes said that Gunther was going to get close to the title, but find out that it's not his and he can't get close enough. Quote, easy to find me, hard to beat. That's Cody's new catchphrase. He's been saying that for a little while. Gunther asked Rhodes if he thought he was a liar. He boasted about how, beaten into the careers of Goldberg, John Cena, and AJ Styles, and promised to choke out Rhodes and take his title this weekend. The credits started rolling. We thought the show was over. They were hyping up WWE America 250. It wasn't it. Really wasn't it. Cody got the best of it. So, yep. There we go. That was SmackDown and nothing happened in the show. Legit nothing happening. Like, there was nothing special about this show at all. Like, if you didn't watch it, I'm going to tell you right now, don't go back and watch it. This show doesn't even start for another 12 minutes on the USA Network. Don't waste your hours. It's not worth it. This is a fucking, if I've ever seen one, nothing happening show. Also, I did miss the spot. I forget exactly where it was, but I remember there was an interview with Brie Bella and Paige, and then the Fatal Influence came up, and JC James Jesse's in Queen of the Ring. But yeah, this was a fucking nothing happening SmackDown. Don't waste your night. Go do something else, and then come back for AAA tomorrow, Clash in Italy on Sunday, and we're good to go. So with all of that, this was easy review. Might come back later and play some 007. As far as the polls do go, and what you guys thought of SmackDown, as far as who watched it, I don't know how many votes we're actually going to get. Let's see if Twitter wanted to push out the poll tonight. No, they didn't. 2 people voted. One said it was all right. One said they didn't like it. Fuck you, Twitter. X, not want to push polls anymore. As far as the Threads poll does go, 55% liked the show, 36% thought it was just all right, and 9% didn't like it. Looking at the community poll, 68% liked the show, 11% thought it was just all right, and 21% didn't like it. And finally, you guys voting live with me right here. 92% liked the show, 8% thought it was just all right. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. We'll be back probably in the next couple of hours. We'll be back a little bit later. We'll play some more 007 First Light. I really love this game. It's my favorite game so far this year. I don't know if it's going to end up being Game of the Year. I know for Game Awards, I don't think GTA 6 will be eligible because when it comes out on, I think November 19th is too late. I'm pretty sure November 19th is too late. But, I mean, there's still other great games that we assume are going to be great coming out later this year, like Wolverine and stuff. So, but right now, 007, and I'm almost halfway through it. I think it's the best game I've played so far this year, and I've played a number of new games. So, play more of that in a little bit. With that, guys, have a great rest of your night. Have a great weekend. And I'll either see you later for 007, maybe tomorrow for 007, but for sure, I'll be here live on Sunday following Clash in Italy. Remember, it's an early show, so we'll do an early review. Have a good one, guys.